Welcome. In front of me is a HUAWEI P40 Lite E, and today I'll go over a unboxing along with a brief overview of the device. So as you can see, this is the box that it comes in, although not everything in there will be as it is normally being sold in the state. So you can see that number one, you have these stickers. Those are basically from the store that I got it from. So let's open it up. And you can see that the phone is a little bit loose now. I don't believe that that's how it is normally. That's just how mine is though. So let's just take out the phone for now. Inside you get the booklet with all the useless information that no one really cares about. So I'll just set that on the side. And you get the charger, and this for a phone that has been released in 2020. Still having the old charger is just a joke in my opinion. So that's kind of garbage. Then you have the normal charger, also kind of crap. Okay, so nothing really special in the box right there. But then the phone itself is okayish, I would say. So starting off, you have the display, which is a fairly nice one, taking the entire screen with only this camera cutout right there. As you can see, it has it right here. You have this little cutout, kind of like the Samsung does. And the screen itself is 6.4 inches with a 720p resolution, so nothing mind-blowing honestly. Again, for the phone at this time, it's kind of outdated, I would say, in the resolution, although it's kind of nice that they didn't go with a notch, which probably they could have, and also it would cost them less. But yeah, so you have the 720, which exactly is a 720 by 1560 pixels display, and it's just an IPS, nothing super fancy there. It comes with 4 GB memory and 4000 mAh battery, and a 48 main megapixel shooter that basically shoots at 1080p video, and that's at 30 frames only. So this is basically the front. I'm going to flip it over so you can get a better look at the back. So there is the triple camera setup, and then you have a fingerprint sensor, the LED flash, and that's about it. Bunch of things that come with the device, like the logo right here and some stuff right here. This is not removable, only this sticker right here. So yeah, that's basically the back with this nice, like, actually kind of cool looking back, how it reflects, and you can actually see it's kind of like a squarish, I would say. It almost looks like there is a sticker, but there isn't actually. Not sure if I can clean it up a little bit. Maybe it will look better, but it looks like there is a little, okay, you can see the line right here. There's kind of like a line. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, but it looks really nice, I would say, in person. I'm not sure how it's gonna look actually on the video. But going back to the device itself, so it has a front glass, Gorilla Glass, and then it has a plastic back, so that what you've seen is just plastic, and the frame of the device itself is also plastic, so you get only glass on the front. So the device isn't gonna be as rigid as some other devices that are a little bit higher tier. And then we get Android 9 on this, so it's running Android 9, and at this moment I don't believe there is an update for Android 10, or if there ever will be, honestly. And I would say it probably won't really matter. It's not like the device has any Play services, so these devices don't come with Google Play Store. As you can see, there is no Play Store whatsoever here, and you could try to sideload it. I have tried, but at this moment of recording this, there were 2 different ways, and none of them worked for this device specifically. So you will basically be stuck on using something like the Aptoid right here that is installed, or just their their app gallery, as they call it. So that's basically the Play Store, but from Huawei. But you still lose the Play services, so you don't have the maps, you don't have basically all the Google apps, along with support from banks, for instance. So if I were to install my bank application on here too, so I can basically, I don't know, connect to it, it wouldn't allow me to log into it. And also if I were to want to use the NFC to pay for stuff, as I do almost regularly, this device wouldn't allow me to. But honestly, I'm not really sure if it even has NFC. It looks like it actually doesn't, so I guess in this case, in terms of payment, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it doesn't come with Play services, so that's a drawback in my opinion, and a massive one. And then going back to the cameras itself, we're gonna go into specifications of it. So you have the main camera, which is the 48 megapixel wide sensor, then you have 8 megapixel ultra wide, and then you have a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And all of that basically shoots at, like I said before, 1080p 30 frames, so nothing really mind-blowing there. And I actually didn't get the specification from the front, so you see, maybe it's on the box. Doesn't look like it, but it's probably gonna be something along 8 or 12 megapixel, but don't take my word on it. I might be wrong. I didn't actually check that one, so I'm just assuming it's probably gonna be something like that, considering this of a little bit of a standard. I would say something like a 12 megapixel, but once again, I might be completely wrong. And yeah, when it comes down to charging itself, you don't get anything mind-blowing, no supercharging, no fast charging, no nothing. I mean, you get the typical old charging port that has been out for, well, a decade now, and yeah, for a device at released in 2020, this is also kind of a drawback. Now, I also do not have a price tag for it, so I can't really compare how it stacks up, the features compared to the price itself. But I would put it this way: if it's going for something like, I don't know, about $200, then I would consider this device to be okay. If it's going for $300, then no. And if it's going for anything more, which honestly I wouldn't surprise me, I would just consider this to be a joke. But overall, the device itself works good on the Kirin 710F that it comes with, and it's a fairly okay device with just several drawbacks of it, and it's, I guess, personal preference if those drawbacks will be setting you off basically from the device, or you won't really mind them. So you have the slow charging, and you don't have Play Store, no NFC. So to me, those are fairly important things, but to you, they might not be. So this device might be really good for you. But yeah, this would conclude the, I guess, overview of this device. And if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.